In a magical world, there's a place called Belgary protected by a strong man chosen by a powerful wizard named Fokf. Some soldiers, sent by a magical lady, want to kill this protector. Since he's very strong, the soldiers can't handle him. The magical lady transforms into a bird and attacks him, but he easily defeats all the soldiers with just one punch. After the battle, the magical lady turns into a human and casts a spell on the protector, making him sneeze. This sneezing causes him to forget everything. The soldiers take the protector's horse to the magical lady, who turns the horse into a human. Surprisingly, this person is the powerful wizard Fokf. Then, the magical lady turns the protector into a stone and instructs the soldiers to throw him into the ocean. She tells Fokf that the last protector is gone, thinking they are now invincible. However, Fokf manages to escape, jumping into the ocean and transforming into a fish. The soldiers then throw the statue of the protector into the ocean. Here we can see numerous statues of people can be observed lying at the bottom of the ocean. Now, at other side we can see on Earth where our hero, Ivan, works as a magician doing tricks that aren't real magic. He puts on magic shows every day. One evening, after finishing a show, an old lady stops him. She talks about his future, saying he'll go to another world and have adventures. But Ivan doesn't believe her and goes home. At home, we see Ivan is an orphan with a servant taking care of him. Besides doing fake magic tricks, he also pretends to do magic to help people. Although it's not true. He tricks people to earn money. One day, a woman takes him to a hospital, asking him to do magic to help her son. But Ivan feels it's wrong to deceive the lady, so he says sorry and leaves. The hero sits and enjoys his coffee. He wears a special chain every day, taking it off briefly to remember his past before putting it back on. Some guys approach him, asking if he's a wizard who can solve problems. The hero, who tricked a wealthy guy's wife with magic tricks, realizes they're here to confront him. The hero makes up an excuse about needing to make a phone call and escapes from them. He sees a slide in a hole and jumps in, expecting to go down but ends up in a different world, a magical one. Confused, he looks around but doesn't understand anything. Trying to go back, he heads to the tree he came from. Suddenly, an old guy named Fokf appears from the tree, greeting Ivan, the hero, like an old friend. Scared, Ivan starts to run, but Fokf follows him, explaining that he's in Belgary and claimed that Ivan is the long-lost son of Ilya Muromets, hidden on Earth many years ago. Varvara's warriors capture Ivan and take him to Prince Dobrynya Nikitic. When Ivan claims to be Ilya Muromets' son, Dobrynya corrects him, explaining that he is Ilya Muromets' brother. Although Dobrynya is friendly, Princess Varvara secretly locks Ivan in her dungeon without her husband knowing. In the dungeon, Ivan meets a talking head named Kashiai, who shares some crucial information. As they talk, soldiers lock an old lady named Baba Yaga in a nearby cell. Kashiai and Baba Yaga are friends, so Baba Yaga comes to help Kashiai to escape from that place. Ivan then asks Kashiai about how to return to his world. Kashiai suggests two options: seeking the help of a powerful wizard to open a portal, or using magical sword also can open the portal. So sword is Ivan's only way back to Earth. Kashiai had used the sword to become immortal but was later defeated and imprisoned by the Bogaders, legendary heroes. After the battle, the sword and crystal were separated. Ilya Muromets took the sword, while his second brother took the crystal. They hid these two crucial items in separate places to prevent anyone from finding them. Kashiai, on the other hand, was locked away. Baba Yaga turns a frog into a girl named Vasilisa. It turns out Baba Yaga had a plan. She changed Vasilisa from a frog and freed everyone. Koshchei, Baba Yaga, Vasilisa, and Ivan managed to escape from the soldiers. Dobrynya, realizing Ivan escaped with Koshchei, says sorry to a statue, which is actually Ivan's father turned into stone. Dobrynya is sorry for not saving Ivan from the bad guys, and Dobrynya orders his soldiers to catch them and bring them back. Ivan and the other three escaped in a running hut. They stopped at a place to take a rest, but Ivan accidentally set the running hut on fire. Ivan informed Baba Yaga about the burning hut, so Baba Yaga quickly took all the items she wanted before the hut completely burned down. After some time, the hut realized it was going to be burned down. So it moved to another location. Baba Yaga scolded Ivan for burning the hut, and Koshchei intervened, telling them to stop fighting. They needed to go to the place where the sword was hidden. When they reached that location, Ivan was the only one who could find the sword because it was hidden by his father. Only his father or Ivan could locate the sword at that moment. So, Koshchei proposes to Ivan that if he helps him find the sword, they can use it to open a portal and return to Earth. From that point on, everyone heads to the place where the sword is hidden. Suddenly, they come across a river infested with deadly fishes that eat humans. They must cross this river to reach the sword's location, but the problem is they can't cross it themselves. To navigate the river, they need the help of a merman. However, the merman only comes if he sees beautiful girls. Vasilisa tries to attract him, but when he arrives and asks who she is, a small creature says she's a frog. This upsets the merman, and he tries to attack her. Ivan steps in to rescue her from the merman. To solve the problem, Baba Yaga drinks a magic potion, transforming into a beautiful girl to captivate the merman. She asks him to help them cross the river, and the merman, enchanted by her beauty, agrees to assist them. After reaching the river, the merman communicates with the killer fishes, instructing them not to harm Ivan and the others while crossing. Unfortunately, the fishes didn't listen and attacked the merman. Then merman jumps into an underground well. This made Vasilisa upset, and she questioned Koshchei, mentioning that they thought the sword would solve all their problems, but now they can't even cross the river. Frustrated, Vasilisa leaves the place. Curious, Ivan asked Koshchei about Vasilisa. Koshchei explained that Vasilisa was originally a human but got turned into a frog because her parents' conflicts with Varvara. Yaga accidentally sees her and turned her into a human temporarily, and with the sword, Vasilisa and her family could become humans again. Ivan tried to cheer her up with a rabbit, but Vasilisa threw it away when she realized it was Varvara in disguise. When Varvara turned back into a human, soldiers surrounded them. To escape, Koshchei, Yaga, Ivan, and Vasilisa jumped into an underground well. Yaga sealed the hole with her magic drum. The merman, helping them escape, drank all the water in the well. The four of them managed to escape, taking the stone that closed the tunnel. However, the merman, now too big from drinking the water, got stuck. For helping them, Varvara turned the merman into a stone. So, there is a tunnel under the river, and they successfully crossed it. They continued their journey to find the magical sword. While traveling, Ivan learns the process of how he can return to Earth using that sword. They stop somewhere to rest, but when they wake up in the morning, soldiers surround them. Despite their attempts to fight the soldiers, the four of them are unable to escape, and Varvara takes them to the hidden sword place, asking them to find the sword. Ivan picks a random sword and claims it to be the real one. He repeats this with several swords, making Varvara angry. In self-defense, Ivan takes a wooden stick to protect himself, and magically, the wooden stick transforms into a real magic sword. Ivan uses the magical sword to defeat Varvara, freeing everyone. He hands the sword to Koshchei. Suddenly, Dobrynya arrives and strikes a deal with Koshchei. Dobrynya agrees to return the crystal if Koshchei gives him the sword. Koshchei, as his life is tied to the crystal, accepts the deal. However, when Dobrynya hands over the crystal, Koshchei realizes it's not the real one. Dobrynya betrays Koshchei, intending to use the crystal and sword for his own immortality. In the chaos, Vasilisa jumps on Dobrynya, causing the magical sword to fall near Ivan. Ivan, using the magical sword, opens a portal to return to Earth. He leaves the sword behind and goes back to Earth. Back in Moscow, Ivan realizes he can't leave Vasilisa and decides to return. He finds the folk, and with his help, Ivan goes back to Belagory. Armed with a modern gun from Earth, he shoots Dobrynya. However, Dobrynya has already become immortal and not happens anything. Ivan challenges Dobrynya to a fight without the magical sword, hoping to distract him and give his friends time to break the magic stone and undo the immortal's protection. During the fight, Dobrynya admits that his jealousy of Ilya led him to betray the Bogaders. Koshchei gets the magic stone. Touched by his friend's bravery, he decides to break it, sacrificing himself and Dobrynya. Varvara runs away, and her frozen victims come back to life. Ilya, among them, reunites with Ivan. Choosing to stay in Belagory, Ivan marries Vasilisa instead of going back to his fake mage life. He briefly comes back to Earth to heal the sleeping boy. In the end, Varvara is shown on Earth meeting her mother, Galina, who is also Ivan's housekeeper. They had planned to control Dobrynya and take over Belagory, but since the plan failed, her mother expresses disappointment in Varvara and ending the movie.